about the bundle. So don't think I'm complaining, please, because I'm really excited about it. Hi guys, Rachel Youngson here, useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is where we ask questions, get resources, talk about what's going on with PLR, and check in with what we're doing in our businesses and our member wins. So the topic of this week is going to be our upcoming PLR, Use PLR to Grow Your Business bundle. The reason that this is the topic is because the submission deadline is coming up. It is February the 3rd. So I wanted to give everyone one last chance or opportunity to get their ideas out there, talk about what they may want to do, see if they're going in the right path, maybe get some feedback from the rest of the group members on what they want to do. And talk to you guys about some of the great submissions we've already had so that you can kind of get an idea of what's what. So, that being said, hi everybody. Am I recording? That's a great question. Yep, I am. Okay, great. What a day. So, thanks, Jen. One day it'll be you, and then I'll laugh at you. So, in regards to the bundle, you'll notice in the Facebook group, one thing that we did do yesterday was post a link basically saying, hey, if you want to invite anyone to participate, then this is the link where they can join the group and find the information on the bundle. It goes straight to that bundle thread that we have going on. The reason we decided to do this is because, let's say, for instance, Jen Brockman and I, we are both in the PLR business. So we both promote each other and we both get a lot of mutual customers. Okay, so let's say Jen is not a part of the group, but I know, like, Jen always promotes my stuff. Jen's really her customers are very receptive to this kind of stuff. She's just perfect for something like this, and I know and I know and I know that I'd really like to reach out to her because I feel like she would, she might contribute, but she would also be a really great affiliate. And if she's an affiliate, her customers that come through are going to be my customers after they pick up my product, right? So that benefits me. So how do I do that? Do I go through Rachel every time I want somebody to submit? No. Go ahead, send them there. They'll do what they need to do. If you're in the group, you're going to get the affiliate information just because you're part of the group. So, even if, let's say Jen wasn't able to participate, but she was like, gosh, I could promote this. This would put a lot of extra cash in my pocket. Well, great. Now she's in the group. She's going to get an affiliate link. And you can get the affiliate link if you're outside of the group too, but of course group members get things first, so that's just the perk. So as far as our submissions, we've had some really great submissions. I'm going to be submitting all of our Use PLR training with the exception of anything done in 2020. So everything prior to 2020 is going to be part of the upgrade portion of the bundle. That's over $300. That includes all the sales funnel, the repurposing, every one of our products. We are able to do that, obviously, because it's our bundle and we want to do something really, really special, right? But also because I would really like the main focus of the upgrade to be where most of the training is and most of the, gosh, I really need this upgrade so I can figure out how to put into place all the PLR that I've likely just gotten from the front end, this is a great way to kind of have all of that there in the upgrade. We also have a multi-template pack that's coming in the bundle. The value is over $100. So if you follow any of our journal stuff that we do, like with Jen, follow any of the planner stuff, all that good stuff, this is something that you may want to pay attention to when it comes out. We have a 3-pack health and personal development special that's going to be coming. It's also got a special offer page for us. And that's going to have articles, reports, graphics, squeeze pages, call to action, and social posters. And I guess I can go ahead and say who's submitting what now, right? Jen Brockman was kind enough to submit the templates, and this health and wellness is from Master PLR. That's Susie O'Day. She's really great. And then we have Easy and Free Printable Design School from Jen Brockman. So if you want to learn how to get your products up and selling, that's where you want to go. That's what you want to do. She actually did this. Is this the one that you created last year, Jen, that I was able to take?
Yeah. It's the same course that I created last year and launched. It was like the very first course that I did. I was chatting with you about it yesterday, and I'm going to be working on updating everything too. Not that things have changed a whole lot in the tools that I use, but I think it's always good to, just keep things fresh. Plus, I want to kind of narrow it down a little bit and get a little more specific in each video. So, yeah. But and everybody that joins through this is going to get that additional training because it's a lifetime membership.
Yay! I'm going to make sure that we make a note of that.
Okay. So yeah, it's a phenomenal value because it doesn't change. Like, it's not just for a year, it's forever. As long as I have the site hosted and up and running. And I don't plan on going anywhere for a while, so this should be there.
Good. Makes me happy.
Plus, actually, not that this is something maybe to advertise, but just for anybody who is listening, especially our group members, I created a specific video for a bundle that I'm currently in, and I will actually be adding that into the membership as well. Kind of like the video that I did specifically for our group members here, way back before I even created the course. That's included as well. So there's lots of stuff from different different, I don't know, niches, I guess, where I've done video and shown people how to kind of edit that and change it up and make it their own.
Yeah, so if anyone saw Jen's Power Hour, that's a great place to kind of see her teaching style. And also learn a lot because you can basically do pretty much everything with editing these guys as soon as you watch that. And then, of course, take the course so that you can figure out what to do with it from there and how to edit even better. Do you have an affiliate link for the bundle that you're currently a part of?
I'm sure I do, yeah.
Yeah, can you throw it in the chat box? And then I will put it in the resources to this as well.
Yeah, you bet. It's actually run by another member, by Ruth.
Yeah, I saw it, and I think that because the timeline was so close, I didn't even realize that she was hosting one. So I would really love to use your affiliate link and promote it.
Yeah, I'll find it. And one other thing too, for anybody who watches this later, and anybody who's here, I have been paying attention to my my email list numbers because I was in Chad's bundle 2 weeks ago.
Me too.
And then I'm in Ruth's bundle this week, and then when yours comes out, I'm going to be in it too. So they're all really close together. But I've been watching my email numbers, the people on my list, and I kind of before I even agreed to do these again, I didn't do any last year for most of the year. I thought, well, how many people am I going to actually reach that's interested in this that aren't already on my list as a part of the low content community? Yeah, I'm glad I did it because my numbers have grown a lot. And we just started the second bundle, and I haven't gotten into your bundle yet. So for anybody who's doing this to grow your list, I think it's a really good way to do it.
And and the other thing is, I can't speak for Ruth's bundle, but with Chad's, I'm also getting a lot of good response from that. But then you're also going to have those folks who don't even pick up their stuff until right before the deadline. So I mean, yeah, it's a great way to kind of get that traffic in, get those nice members. I'm really proud of you too. Working 3 bundles at the beginning
Thank
of the
you.
year. That's
It's been a lot of work.
a lot. It is a lot.
It
But
is.
you've done it in a really smart way there because you've done the bundles and then you're going to turn around and do the upgrade for the course,
Yeah.
so we'll be able to promote that as, updated for 2020.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah, and not only can everybody, my affiliates as well as new customers, maybe hop onto that and help promote it when I do update everything. But um, I've also learned one of the things that I have not been good about up until the last several months is putting in follow-up emails for not just for bundles, but kind of for everything. Um, and I really think that those are helping to keep people on the list. They're not just going, oh, I don't remember who this lady is. Why is she emailing me, a week later? I don't, and I'm seeing that too with my own email list since I've been in these bundles as a customer.
mhm.
I think if you follow up, I think, 3 to 5 times within the first couple of weeks after people join your list, I think it's really much better to establish that relationship with them so that they remember who you are, because I know some people, they put their stuff in the bundle and then they're just like, oh, I'll email them in a week when I have a new thing out. No, I think it really does help if you connect with them, send a couple. Well, actually, Charlene helped me write my follow-up sequences.
She's
And
great.
yeah, she really is. And they're just general enough that I was able to go in and tweak them to make them work for the bundles or to make them work for my products. And I just kind of copied the same 3 or 5 for each of these bundles and adjusted them to whatever the product was and the bundle is. So I get, the new customers, the new people who are signing up are getting that follow-up connection and getting to learn who I am and why I'm doing this and what I can offer.
And you're getting the most mileage out of what you paid to outsource those emails,
Exactly.
which is already crazy low because of Charlene's deal. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's just a hint for anybody. I don't want to overwhelm new people because I know when you first do a bundle, it can be like, oh my God, I don't know what all I'm supposed to be doing. But it's really valuable if you can do that, and it doesn't have to be difficult. You don't even have to have it outsourced. Just send like 3 follow-up emails, schedule them in your email autoresponder if you have one. And the first one can just say, hey, this is me. Thank you so much. Welcome to my list. The third one can say, hey, I just want to make sure you've actually used what you got. If you have any questions, I'm right here. Just let me know. And you don't even have to like worry about selling to them, but just establish that, who you are and where to get a hold of you. And if you have questions, maybe throw in some tips about how to use it. So
Great stuff, Jen.
yeah.
Yeah, and I want to throw in, you guys will find as you start creating these sequences that your audience may respond differently to different things. So kind of like my email audience responds differently than Jen's, because it's just the way it is. My audience might do great when I send emails out at 6 a.m. Hers might do better with those 11 o'clock emails. Personally, you'll very rarely see me promote one of those launches that don't start until 11 because then my list is just not interested in whatever's going on if I email after 11. And it's kind of going to be the same thing with the follow-up sequence. You'll kind of find your rhythm and you'll figure out what works. One thing like Jen does every other day, which I think is great. And I do like first 5 days with like tips for the 3 days. And then the other, I do like an affiliate link for the other 2 days, and then it's a wrap. And like Jen said, just schedule it out and lather, rinse, repeat, my friends. Just like with PLR, once you do it once, you have it forever. It's your template, right? That's what we really, really stress here. And for those who are newer to the group because of Chad's Stack, thank you very much for coming and listening to our Power Hour. And just so you know, that is a theme that you're going to hear a lot in this group is once you have it, use it as a template to make your business easier, make your life easier, take all that headache out of it, and lather, rinse, repeat. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Okay, so bundle deadline is going to be next Monday, which is the 3rd of February. Thank you, Jen. We do have an affiliate link for the bundle that Jen is part of currently, which is run by Ruth Helen Bowers. Is that right? Ruth Bowers? Okay. So be sure to check that out. It is also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, the majority of the stuff in this one is going to be like low content templates, so journals and planners and stuff like that. But there is some other stuff in there. There is some written PLR as well, and there's quite a bit of training. So it's definitely valuable if you are looking at getting into that, or if you are into that already.
I did notice there's, and I think a lot of that training is free too. I believe that, am I wrong? I think some of
No. There is, we're doing a summit. So she's having, there goes my bird. Several of her contributors are speaking live on a Zoom every day this week. I'm going to be chatting tomorrow with her. And it's not necessarily going to be training every day, but I'm sure that there's going to be some really good information. And then the way her bundle is set up, there's the main bundle, and then that includes the bulk of everything. And then there's a slightly higher priced option. And with that, you get like almost $500 worth of training on top of it. So
very
there's
nice.
kind of 3 aspects to it, which is cool.
Very, very nice. And you guys may notice some of these other folks. Jen is in our group. April's in our group. Raven. I don't know if she's in our group, but we've done stuff for her. Justin's a member of our group, and of course, Ruth is. Melody. So if you're even looking for, low content stuff, if you're looking for training, if you're looking for a way to just kind of support your other group members, just check it out.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't feel like, oh, I'm going to do Rachel's bundle. I don't want to, I'm going to pay for Rachel's bundle. I don't want to do this. The big thing is you do what's right for you and your business. Okay. Everything's just going to work itself out. So don't worry about any of that. And like Jen, we're going to have people who want to contribute to my bundle and are going to contribute to other bundles too. And that's going to be great because the end result is the same, helping each other out. So this is the basic bundle. You've got some stuff for tools for motivation.
Alice Seba, that's Raven in the middle.
Is this?
Yep, color monthly, so that's Ravens.
Okay. I was going to say, I just did the Paleo Pregnancy Pack, and this would have been a perfect back end fun thing.
Hey, I have a pregnancy planner coming out this next month too, so
do you?
Promotion for us.
Yeah, definitely will be. Yeah, because the pregnancy should be out February, mid to late February. So yeah, we'll definitely do something.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just everything that you're going to get this is from Chad, the 90-day action planner. It's very good stuff. This is PLR, I believe. Yeah, of course. So yeah, pay attention to this, guys. And we're going to put this in the email as well as the notes in this call. And I'm going to shout it out in the Facebook group too. So give it a try. Okay, so deadline for the bundle is February the 3rd. What are we looking for? Send us whatever you have and we'll see. We'll let you know. It's this is my first bundle. And so because of that, I have something in my mind that the way that I want things to work. But like with everything else in business, you have to be able to pivot, right? So I may get more submissions for one thing than the other. I may have more, let's say, product creators submit than PLR sellers. I mean, I don't really know where it's going to go. However, the main things about the bundle are Main theme is using PLR to grow your business, right? So everything that has to do with business, PLR, self-help for entrepreneurs, anything along that realm they're great submissions for the front end. If you have something and you're not sure if that fits in there, submit it anyway. Let's look at it. I mean, the worst that can happen is I come back and say, hey, let's tweak this to make sure you get into the bundle. Worst that can happen. The upgrade is all the products in the upgrade have to be valued at $97 and above. The upgrade is where we're going to put most of the focus on the trainings. But things like lifetime passes, hundreds of dollars worth of PLR, all that good stuff is going to be part of the upgrade because we want to make that super valuable, right? Especially since it's you're contributing more, so you want, of course, it's going to be more value there. Anybody have any questions about any of this? The affiliate link should be coming out in the next week. The launch date is the 17th, so we still have some time. But the 17th to the 24th is going to be the launch, so keep that in the old noggin if you can. We went over, you can always invite people, and we are looking at, we might make this, I haven't decided yet if we're going to make this a yearly or a bi-yearly thing, but my goal is going to be to do this once a year at least as a way of giving back to the community, the Youth PLR community, which is almost at 500 members now. So, and that's just in the Facebook group. So it is very important to me to support and help these community members grow. So anything anyone want to talk about today? Anything bundle or non-bundle related is good. I am out of chat for today. That's all my notes. I see Jen Brockman. If anyone's looking at her screen, she's got one of her planners in the back there, printed out, looking all pretty. So
I do.
This is, when we were talking about the importance of learning how to print and sell these things, imagine something like that on Amazon or Etsy.
That's where it came from. That's an Amazon print.
Yeah.
One of the first ones that I tried, because I don't do a whole lot on Amazon, but I needed to make sure I could, do it myself before I tried to show other people how to use my templates to do it. So, yeah, so I made one.
Can you do a little flip for us?
Oh, yeah. So that's the cover. This is like one of the earlier products that I made, too. It's probably backwards to you guys, but it's a pet planner.
This is that low content stuff. I never realized how valuable it was until I started the group, because then that's when I connected with you and some others who do the low content. It's big business, guys.
It is.
And they're so easy to create, and you can create them much faster than you can write a PLR report. So,
yes.
And you have so much, you can do so much more with them. Like we said, Amazon, Etsy, direct download, or print. It's just a lot.
I think the other thing that I really like about it, and maybe this is something important for people in the bundle to know, or who might want to buy the bundle, any bundle for that matter. One of the great things about doing low content stuff is you can use like a PLR report and kind of figure out a structure of how that information could transfer into like a planner or something. Say you get something like a health report, you can go through and kind of see the topics and maybe the article listings or the titles, and go, oh, you know what? I bet these things could transfer into a tracker, like a health tracker, or even a journal. Because you see the topics that people are worried about, or the topics that people are having to deal with, like with their kids or with their parents or with themselves, and they need to be able to get that stuff out of their head. So, you just create prompts, you pull 1 or 2 sentences out of a report, and you can turn those into prompts and turn it into a whole journal, and they sell like crazy. So yeah.
See, and it seems to me that, and I don't do low content, but it does seem to me though that that's a good way also, like if you have a PLR report, to have a PLR report and then have something you can sell.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I know
Yeah.
that I'm a reader, but I would be nowhere without lists. I have lists
Exactly.
all over the place. So,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
see, and you bring up a really great point. You could use the report like as a free opt-in on your website, or you could use articles on your blog, and on each of those, you could have the planner or the journal or whatever for sale as a companion to it. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to do it.
people love it. People
Yeah.
love this stuff.
And you shouldn't say you're not in low content, lady. You put out some stuff with your like the last two launches.
Oh yeah.
She didn't tell me, and they look cool. I haven't even like downloaded them, and they look really cool just from the.
Thank you. You know what? That's true. So we've changed the structure of the way that I do things for 2020. And sometimes I don't remember, like she said.
I'm
So
gonna call you out, lady.
yeah, so for instance, like our Paleo Pops over at Whole Food PLR, that has a companion journal where you can track like your vet stuff and how the food changes are helping your animal and that kind of stuff. So it's an easy way for our folks in the healthy pet niche, to have that companion guide, like she said. I'm glad somebody here has everything on track. That's right. I
It
forgot.
occurred to me. I was like, "You're a liar. Quit
I
being a
am.
liar."
That's true. And then I guess the Rocker 2020 part of that can be considered low content too, even though that's personal use. Um, but yeah, you're right. You're right. So there it is.
There you go.
There you have it.
But I think that's a great way to show other people too. That's how it fits in. You
Mm.
make you make something like that to go with the written content.
Yeah, and if you're any of my PLR friends who are listening to this who are looking to get started in PLR, it's also a great way to kind of diversify what you're
Mhm.
offering your audience. Like when I first got started with Whole Food PLR, initially I was doing webinar PowerPoint slides, webinar handouts, and speaking points. They were a bear. I hated them. I hated doing them. And but I did that with the thought that now my audience has a webinar that they can do with their audience, right? But as time goes on and you kind of realize people are doing different things, then the checklists seem to be easier for them to engulf and kind of repurpose and throw out there. And now these journals are really great. So that's especially great actually. I think the journals are going to be a real home run if you're a PLR seller, to be a companion to any PLR that you create for a little while now, because you can have that diversity of let's throw it here, let's throw it there, let's put it on Etsy, and then bring people back to my site because now they know, hey, I know everything about healthy puppies. I mean, it's just the way it is. Do you agree with that? I see you shaking your head. If you don't, let me know, because you do the content much more than I do, the low content stuff. But
No, I think it's a great pivot for people who have been doing only written stuff or mainly written stuff. Um, it's kind of why also I did a couple of JVs with some of our members earlier in the year, because I thought maybe people would want the written stuff to go with my journals and planners and stuff. It didn't. I'm not sure that my audience was ready for that, but I think for people who are already doing written stuff, it's a great addition, because this other stuff, or the low content stuff, is coming into play big. And you're not the only one who's doing it. I saw like Makes Bank is going to be starting to add some too. So
good.
yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good.
Except that I wanted to be the only one.
Well, see, that's what happens when other people know your good ideas.
And that's okay. It just gives me more people to promote to my audience, because my
That's
audience wants that stuff.
that's true. And it's for those listening, that's another, if you caught what Jen said, she said that my audience wasn't ready for low content plus the written, but the person I JV'd with, their audience seemed to be ready for the low content in addition to the written. So I mean, that's another way that we talk about how audiences are different, and even if you're in the same community, but with a different community leader,
Mm-hmm.
things are going to be different. I may respond better to Jen's emails than I do to Kelly's emails, because I'm used to Kelly emailing at a certain time of day, and if she doesn't, then I'm just not going to
Right.
respond. It's just the way that it is.
People
We're
are
all,
funny. Yeah.
and that's what you'll find as you grow your community, is that, even if we're in the same community, we may have different styles, and our readers are going to react differently, even if they're the same readers. It's very odd, but it's the way it is. Anybody else have any questions today? Anything before we start shouting out who we are, what we do, what great things we've accomplished?
I don't have a question, but I do have a thought.
Yeah, let's hear
This has
it.
been coming up for me this last week that so I've been doing this particular business like 2 years now ish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one of the things that I've noticed is since I started, um, I have seen people drop out. People whose stuff I really, really liked, but either they didn't stick with it or they weren't able to stay consistent. Um, and I think that maybe the people who are looking for like short-term success, they may not be as inclined to make it in the long run. So I think, I don't know, it's just something that's been on my mind lately. Like there's people that like in the bundles recently, I'm like, why am I not seeing that person anymore? They've dropped off the face of the earth. And I know in a couple of instances it was health related, but that's not always the issue. I think some people give up really easily and really early. So that's just something for everybody to keep in mind too.
You and I. That's so funny, because just before this, I was thinking of, I don't even know what made me think of it, but I was thinking back to the days before I had the Facebook group, and just occasionally, just because people knew I was a PLR seller, sometimes I would get questions and things like that over on my regular page.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I noticed was, like you said, it, people seem to have like this ideal of what working at home is going to be like, or that it's going to be easy, or that it's going to be, um, stress-free. And yeah, you do get a lot of perks with it, but it's none of those other things are true. And like, one of the things that I would say to people, for instance, I had one person who was like, hey, I'm a hairdresser or something like that, and I really want to quit my job. I want to do this. I want to be a writer. I want to do PLR, blah, blah, blah. And I say, no, don't quit your job. No, you have to work the hustle, do them both for X amount of time, like until you're able to quit your job. Put all your money from this back into your business to grow the business, put it into the tools, put it into thinking about outsourcing, do all that stuff, run this as a business, and then look into quitting your job. And nobody really wants to hear that.
No,
They just don't.
no. I'm sure some people could make it work if they just did it that way, but it's really not the reality for 99% of the people. It's just not,
Right.
because it's not instant money overnight.
Exactly.
I will say, when I first started my first month, I just, like, every day I was like, oh my God, do you see these numbers? Look at the money coming in. But it's not the same thing to launch your first thing and have it go well, and then over time be able to keep up that same amount of interest and level of purchasing, because people become more aware of other stuff. And so yeah, you have to figure out where everything comes from, including your energy levels. And there are days that the energy is just not there. So
Yeah, there are times I find sometimes that I do much better when I work at night by myself,
mm-hmm.
which is horrible, because like my family's home at night, but usually like when they go to sleep, if I come into the office for a couple hours, I find I get a
Mm-hmm.
lot done.
Yeah.
But during the day when I should be working, I find that, my Nintendo Switch calls me, or, something's on Netflix, or I haven't
Yeah,
caught up with my TLC shows. And,
exactly.
so you're right. And it is like finding those times when you are most energetic and focused and figuring out how to plug those in. Um, I don't always get to work at night. So
No,
this,
exactly. Yeah, I think people don't understand also how flexible you have to be. We talked about it earlier, being able to pivot, and sometimes that happens spur of the moment, and sometimes it's over time you realize, okay, this is not working. I gotta work on something different,
mhm,
change something. So yeah,
yeah. And the statement about not being swayed by that first big launch, that was a really smart thing to say. I know, like, most of for me, I was working offline, and my goal was to be able to come online when I wanted to, when I was ready to, when I, had this successful business and I was, walking away from something because I wanted to keep growing that. Um, but life threw me something different, and I had to walk away sooner than that, for personal reasons. So, when I was working full time, in addition to this, yes, I was coming home, I was doing emails at night when I wanted to be like watching TV, and I was working on the weekends, which I still do, but not like I was then. And it was just, I was doing most of the things myself, but I was outsourcing some, and I was starting to outsource more when I got thrown this curveball. So even though like that first launch I did on JV Zoo was like $1,300 in one day or something like that, I was all like, "Oh, this is great! I could do this." It doesn't work out that way all the time. You really have to like evaluate and don't get sucked into the numbers like
right.
that. Like you said, the
Yeah,
consistency is what matters. Don't give up your day job. It's one thing if you're retired. It's one thing if you're laid off. It's one thing if you have no other option. But make sure you truly have no other option before you decide that this is the only thing you're going to do, because
awesome.
while it is profitable, it is a lot of work. It's a business just like everything else,
It
you know,
is.
especially when you're trying to make connections, because you never know who to trust. It takes a long time to find the right connections, connect in the right ways. So
Okay, you just brought up something else. I'm gonna throw this out there. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but
let's do it.
so this week, and I'm not gonna name names
Okay.
because that's the whole point of what I wanted to say. There was a kind of a blow up. Somebody sort of attacked another creator online in a public space. And first of all, I don't think that I think that it happens a lot. And especially, I think, kind of in the society that we have right now, it's pretty common to kind of troll other people. But I think in our smaller world of PLR, business owners and creators, I really think it's very potentially damaging to somebody who does it. Now, whether they were wrong or right doesn't even matter, because what they showed was that they are willing to be, I don't know, muck slingers, for a lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It just showed to me that it's not somebody I can trust. I can't trust them not to slam me over something. Um, Potentially, uh, and I don't know. There were a lot of people who jumped on this particular thread, and none of which knew the person that was being attacked. So I just, since you said something about it, I wanted to bring it up because it was very low class, from my opinion, and it's not something I would ever do, not publicly. And even when it comes to people who, like, I'm thinking that, that's bad, like this person, I would never name them unless unless I like think that their quality of work is untrustworthy or something like that. But just over an idea like this or something, I'm not going to attack somebody, especially not publicly, because my reputation depends on how people see me acting in the world and how people see me running my business. And
Hmm.
I think that that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Virginia, it's good to see you today. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given was by Connie Reagan Green, who some of you know was my business coach way back when. But I have my, I have my regular Facebook account. I have my business pages and stuff. And she said, don't use your Facebook account for anything other than business because, even though there was no attacking or anything going on there, it's still, if you're trying to present a business, then people are going to see, oh, this is what you think politically, this is what you think personally, this is, you're this or that, or you don't eat healthy enough, or, I don't want to look at,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and it's very, very true. Um, and it really did make a big difference. And yes, I see what you're talking about. I've seen it happen as well. And um, for me, I'm with you. I lay low on that kind of stuff. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're one of my product creator friends, regardless of what niche you're in, take this with you too, because as you're communicating with your community and you're growing your community and your reach is expanding, you're going to find that you're going to be JVing with people. You're going to be getting those invitations like we get as PLR sellers, and you may run into this as well. And I would never go after someone in a public space, because at the end of the day, it's really about me having that respect for my community,
Yeah.
having my community respect me. And, if I will say, like Jen mentioned, if someone is doing something that I know is untrustworthy and I know they're doing it deliberately, I am part of I am part of a group that will say, of other PLR sellers that will say, hey, look, XYZ is doing XYZ, they're refunding everything, and they're, whatever they're doing that's shady, that we'll kind of warn each other about, because that affects our businesses. But as far as if you're just learning, a lot of things are just life lessons. A lot of things aren't done deliberately, and it's um, it's kind of weird because we're in this, it's almost like an office space, but it's a virtual office space where you have millions of other people, right? So so I mean, it's a little bit different. So for those that are coming in, we were just kind of chit-chatting about business and how business runs, and kind of things that we should think about with our businesses and that kind of thing. We did a little bit of talking about low content publishing and books and journal, or planners and journals and all that kind of stuff. If you are new to our calls, we are running a special bundle for members of our Use PLR community. And what that means is that you can contribute a product that you created that is not made of PLR, that is for personal use only, or you can contribute PLR rights products that you have, or you can contribute training that you have. And we have all the information on that over in our members group, and I will drop a link to that in the chat. The purpose of a bundle is so that you can kind of expand your reach and have kind of a foothold into other communities. So for instance, just because she's first on my list, as I'm going across the board. For instance, Jen Brockman does low content planners and journals. Why would it benefit her to be in my bundle? Because I can bring PLR buyers who are, just learning about low content journals into her group, you know, and she can bring these low content folks into my group. And if you listen to the replay, we talked a little bit about how you can use both written and low content stuff to really expand your business and expand your reach. Um, so that's why that stuff's important. And let me go hunt down that link for you folks. So does anybody want to chat today? If you could just drop a note in the chat box and just let me know if you want to chat or lurk. Some folks choose to come here and spend an hour of time just working on their PLR. That's totally okay. Some folks like to chat, and that's okay too. Whatever you want is good for me. I am here, my friends, to support you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was checking in on our I always put a link, just an FYI, if you guys do webinars, I always put a link right before we start or a little bit before we start in our group so that I can kind of get that last minute traffic. All right, we got a couple lurkers. Here is the link to our Use PLR members group if you are not already a member. This bundle is, the bundle participation is invitation only for members of our group. That means if you're part of the group, then you're invited. Everyone can get into the group. However, the bundle is my way of helping those in my group who are newer to the to business to expand their reach and connect with each other. It's to help PLR sellers who give their time and energy in our group to help people become a success, to help them continue growing their reach. And that's why I'm not just going out and asking anyone to promote. It's just for people who are already in our group. So go ahead and get in there and then you can promote and then you can submit. Anyone can promote, but only specifics can submit. People in the group, I mean. Okay. All right. If you are, Virginia, would you mind dropping in the chat box if you can, if you are newer to PLR or if you're a little familiar with it? The reason I'm asking is because if you're newer to PLR, I have some free guides that I want to point you to just because that way you'll kind of get a baseline. They're all free, nothing like, you know. And of course, in our members group, if you choose to sign up there, we have a units section on the side of the Facebook group page, and you can see all of our past power hours. We'll have all the resource links of anything we talked about. Last week's power hour was especially good. We talked about free tools that people use to when they're repurposing their PLR. That was a really valuable one. So you'll get access to all of that over there. Okay. Well, folks, I think we're good. Does everybody feel confident about, Jen, you've already done your submissions, so we'll be looking at those. And anybody else have anything? I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, let's cut out 10 minutes early today. Yay! For those of you who are new to these calls, usually I don't let everybody go early, so that's why everybody's excited, because I'm a chatterbox and I usually keep everybody like school. But anyway, all right, folks. Well, I look forward to talking to you in the group. Any questions between this week and next week? Rachel@useplr.com is my email. You can reach out to me in the Facebook group. Tag me in something if you have any questions. And let's get chatty. Let's connect. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.